Forget Sydney. Welcome to Melbourne, Australia's coolest city. I'm Annie, and here's my ultimate travel list of the 24 best things to do, see and visit in one of the world's most livable cities. From amazing street art to hipster bars and beautiful parks and beaches, Melbourne has tons to offer, and visitors to Australia often name it as their favourite place of all. And stick around to the end, because I'm also going to give you the perfect 3-day itinerary for your visit. So, are you ready? Let's go! If there's an aroma you associate with Melbourne, it's roasting coffee beans. The city's thriving coffee culture is legendary. In fact, Melbourne has over 2,000 coffee shops, without a Starbucks to be seen. Melbourne's baristas are renowned for their skill and passion, and Melbourne takes its cafe culture seriously, with specialty coffee roasting and latte art competitions. So no matter which neighbourhood you're in, you'll find no end of excellent cafes serving coffee with rich aromas and bold flavours. Some of the best are in Collingwood and Brunswick, where you'll find iconic cafes like Proud Mary and Code Black. Melbourne is a paradise for foodies. Explore the vibrant street food scene, where food trucks and pop-up stalls offer a diverse array of culinary delights from around the globe. The Fitzroy neighbourhood on the north side is where you'll find some of the best food in the city. It's known for its melting pot of flavours that reflect Melbourne's multicultural identity. You can also try Lygon, Melbourne's version of Little Italy, a gorgeous street full of shady cafes and restaurants. Or Chinatown, where you'll never be short of choice. The South Bank, looking out over the Central Business District, or CBD, is another area full of great restaurants, bars and pubs, with spectacular views at night when the skyscrapers are lit up. As well as being one of the best cities in the world for coffee, Melbourne's Laneways are home to some of the best street art you can find anywhere. You'll find them a short walk away from Flinders Street Station in the CBD area. You'll be greeted by a kaleidoscope of colours and creativity that showcase the city's vibrant art scene and provide a canvas for local and international artists to express themselves. Some of the best to head to are AC/DC Lane, which pays homage to the iconic Australian rock band and showcasing the city's passion for live music. Hosier Lane, with its ever-changing murals and graffiti that reflects the city's dynamic spirit. And Duckboard Place, home to Melbourne's only Banksy. When it comes to iconic landmarks, Flinders Street Station is probably the best known and most photographed building in Melbourne. It's the oldest train station in Australia and the busiest in the Southern Hemisphere. This architectural masterpiece stands as a symbol of Melbourne's rich history with its distinctive yellow facade and iconic clock tower. When the famous clocks were first installed in the 1850s, workers would have to manually move the hands with a long pole every 30 seconds. Nearby is Federation Square, the main public square in Melbourne. With plenty of bars, cafes, restaurants, museums and galleries, there's usually lots going on here to keep you entertained, especially at weekends. Fed Square is also a great place to get a view of the iconic Prince's Bridge as well. While you're here, grab a ticket to the Australian Centre for the Moving Image and discover the history of Aussie cinema. It might surprise you that Melbourne is the birthplace of the world's first ever feature-length film, The Story of the Kelly Gang, released in 1906. It was over an hour long and tells the story of the infamous bushranger, Ned Kelly. But do you know which iconic Melbourne landmark has a unique connection to Ned Kelly? Stick around to find out. Another place for great views of the city is the Eureka Tower Skydeck. From the 88th floor, you'll be treated to 360-degree views of Melbourne, stretching from the hipster neighbourhoods of the north to the beachy suburbs to the south. It has the fastest elevator in Australia and a great outdoor terrace area where you can take photos. There's also the Edge, a glass box that extends into the air outside of the building, allowing you to look through the glass floor to the city 300 metres below. And as a special experience, you can have dinner at Eureka 89, a high-end restaurant on the top floor of the tower. It's best to book in advance for both of these, and I've included a link for you in the description below. One last place you have to try in this area is the Lune Croissanterie. These world-renowned pastries take 3 days to make and have become a Melbourne attraction in their own right. The taste, the coffee, the atmosphere is all a unique experience. But you'll need to get there early. There's always a queue. Beyond its cultural and culinary delights, Melbourne is also a shopper's paradise. offering a diverse range of shopping experiences that cater to every taste and style. At the heart of the city lies the iconic Queen Victoria Market, a bustling indoor marketplace that's been a beloved institution for over a century. Queen Vic, as the locals call it, is a food lover's paradise where you'll find everything from exotic fruit and veg to kangaroo sausages or shark fillets. The deli counters are bursting with artisanal cheeses, fresh olives and crusty breads that will make your mouth water. And trust me, it's all fresher than anything you'll find in the supermarket. You'll also find a huge deli section and a busy food court. One of the most popular places is the American Donut Kitchen for fresh, warm donuts that are some of the best in the city. And for a more upscale shopping experience, venture into Melbourne's arcades, which date back to the 1870s. Each has their own unique design, so it's worth visiting a few. In particular, the Royal Arcade and Block Arcade have stunning heritage architecture and boutique shops that offer a mix of luxury brands and local designers. In a moment, we're going to visit another of Melbourne's most photographed spots, but first, we need to talk about Melburnians' obsession with sport. If there's one thing you need to know about Melbourne, it's this city is absolutely mad about sports. Whether you're into tennis, racing, cricket or football, Melbourne's got something to get your adrenaline pumping. The Grand Slam Australian Open Tennis Tournament is held here every January at the Rod Laver Stadium, along with the Australian Formula One Grand Prix, which roars through Albert Park in March. There's also the Melbourne Cup, the most prestigious horse race in the country, plus the Boxing Day Cricket Test Match, and Aussie Rules Football Grand Final, two of Australia's biggest sporting events. Now for the real sports fanatics, the Melbourne Cricket Ground, or MCG, is sacred ground. It's the 11th largest stadium in the world, with a capacity of over 100,000. When it fills up, the place practically hums with energy. If you time your visit just right, you might catch an AFL game from March to September or a cricket match during the summer. Either way, the MCG promises an atmosphere that's electrifying, to say the least. And even if there's no big game, you can still explore the MCG on a guided tour. It's your backstage pass to walk the same field where legends have played and soak in the history that makes this place so iconic. I've left a link in the description below where you can book tickets. Melbourne is rich in history and culture, with a wealth of museums, galleries and places of interest that offer a glimpse into the past and present of this vibrant city. Most of these can be found in the CBD area. One must-visit historical site is the Old Melbourne Jail. This iconic landmark offers a fascinating glimpse into the city's dark past as a former prison that housed some of Australia's most infamous criminals, including the notorious bank robber and murderer Ned Kelly. You can explore the eerie cells, learn about the harsh conditions faced by prisoners, and hear chilling tales of the jail's history. More than 130 outlaws were executed here. In the 80 years the jail was open from the mid-1800s, and you can see the death masks of some of these prisoners, plaster molds of their faces after their execution. If you're an art lover, then head to the National Gallery of Victoria, home to an impressive collection of Australian and international art. It's the oldest art museum in Australia, and you'll find it on the Yarra River's south side. It's home to over 70,000 works of art, from contemporary masterpieces to classical pieces from Picasso, Rembrandt and Turner, along with a wide range of exhibitions that showcase the beauty and creativity of the art world. It's totally free to visit. Wander through the galleries and be inspired by the stunning artworks that grace its walls. An altogether different place to visit is the Melbourne State Library, one of the most photographed spots in the city. It's right across the street from the Old Melbourne Jail. Head up to the Dome Galleries and take the lift to the famous viewing platform for an amazing panoramic view of the library's interior space. It's rarely busy here, but avoid lunchtime at the weekends, as protests are often held outside then. Other museums you can visit include the Melbourne Museum, where you can learn about Melbourne's long history, including its Aboriginal roots and the Gold Rush era. And the Immigration Museum, where you can learn about the stories and experiences of many generations of migrants who decided to leave their lives to make Australia their home, and the difficulties they faced once they arrived. Enjoying the video so far? Then why not drop me a comment and subscribe to the channel, and you can find out even more about everything Melbourne and Victoria have to offer with 10% off Lonely Planet guides. Melburnians are known for their love of outdoor activities, and the city's green spaces provide ample opportunities for jogging along scenic trails, cycling through leafy avenues, practicing yoga in peaceful settings, or simply unwinding with a book on a sunny afternoon. The Royal Botanic Gardens are a peaceful, urban oasis in the heart of the city with a stunning array of native and exotic plants. You can easily walk here from the CBD. Here you can stroll along winding paths, go punting on the lake, or have a picnic on the grass. One of the best spots to visit is Guilfoyle's volcano, actually a water feature, where you can get a great view of the city skyline from the viewpoint. Other gardens you can visit include Fitzroy Gardens, a historic gem nestled near the bustling CBD, and Carlton Gardens, where you can also visit the UNESCO Heritage-listed Royal Exhibition Centre and take a tour up its impressive dome. To the south of the city you'll find Albert Park, a sprawling green space that offers a picturesque setting for outdoor recreation and relaxation. It's also where the Formula One race takes place, and if you want, you can walk, drive or cycle around the circuit. There's also a scenic walking trail around the lake, or you can enjoy a picnic on the grassy lawns. Make sure to admire the view from the lakeside lookout. It's the best viewpoint of the park. If you're looking for a coastal playground away from the hustle and bustle of the city, with a vibrant atmosphere, beachside cafes, bars and restaurants, water sports and beautiful scenery, then Melbourne's beaches have it all. St Kilda is Melbourne's most popular beachside suburb, where you can find a beautiful boardwalk area, and the iconic St Kilda Pier, where you can get panoramic views of Port Phillip Bay and the Melbourne skyline. The pier is best known for its colony of little penguins, which come ashore each night at dusk. You can sit on the pier and watch it all take place. You can also see a lot more penguins at Phillip Island, which I'll tell you more about in just a moment. Next to St Kilda Beach is where you'll find Luna Park, a classic theme park which is home to one of the world's oldest wooden roller coasters. Built back in 1912, it's the world's oldest continuously operating roller coaster. Reaching speeds of 60 kilometers an hour, it follows a track around the perimeter of the park, offering plenty of thrills and spills. Amazingly, the roller coaster is still operated manually by somebody operating the brakes from the back car as it goes around. Your entry ticket gives you unlimited rides on all the attractions, and I've left a link in the description below for you to use to book. Between St Kilda and Elwood, you can follow the beachside trail along 2 kilometers of boardwalk, which winds its way along the coastline. The Point Ormond Lookout is another place to get a great view of the city. From here, you can head further along to Brighton Beach, one of the most exclusive suburbs of Melbourne, and famous for the brightly painted beach boxes lining the beach. They're one of the most Instagrammable spots in Melbourne. Believe it or not, these tiny beach huts are some of the most expensive real estate per square foot in the world. For wildlife lovers, Melbourne also has some great attractions to offer. The Melbourne Zoo is home to over 300 species of animals, and is one of the best family activities in the city. The Aussie Outback exhibit is one of the most popular, where you'll find native kangaroos, emus and koalas. The Melbourne Sea Life Aquarium is also another popular family attraction, with over 13 different species of shark, as well as hundreds of other interesting sea life creatures found in the Southern and Antarctic Ocean. A little over an hour from Melbourne, you can find Healesville Sanctuary, the place to go if you want to see Australian wildlife up close and personal. Here you can expect to see kangaroos, koalas, dingoes, platypus, emus, and Tasmanian devils in their natural bushland habitat. Kids go free at weekends, and there's even a new dinosaur attraction for 2024. You can book tickets using my link in the description below. A little further afield, just a couple of hours drive away, is one of Victoria's most amazing attractions, the Penguin Parade at Phillip Island. It's a truly magical experience that sees hundreds of penguins return home each night to their shelters on the shore. It's simply amazing to watch these little creatures emerge from the ocean and waddle up the beach to their burrows. One tip though, book early and book online. And dress very warmly. You can book your experience using the link I've provided in the description below. As well as everything the city has to offer, Melbourne is also a great base to explore some of the most beautiful parts of Victoria, and there are plenty of day trips you can do. You can explore the Yarra Valley wine region and visit some of the vineyards and farms that produce amazing wines and ciders. And speaking of amazing scenery, why not enjoy a memorable Melburnian sunrise over the city and Yarra Valley from the skies with a hot air balloon trip? Check out my link in the description below for an amazing trip where you can also enjoy a delicious sparkling wine breakfast after touching back down on solid ground. Still part of the Greater Melbourne area are the Dandenong Ranges, where you can find beautiful scenery and hiking trails like the popular Living Bush Nature Walk or the more challenging 1000 Steps. The Dandenong region is also where you'll find the much-loved puffing Billy steam train that winds its way through the bush. About a 3-hour drive from Melbourne is Wilson's Promontory National Park, the southernmost point of mainland Australia. The park covers an area of over 500 square kilometres and has amazing and diverse landscapes with its mountains, forests, beaches, and wildlife. In fact, the area is so popular, they have a ballot system to stay in the accommodation during peak season. Another of Victoria's most amazing attractions is the Great Ocean Road, quite probably the best road trip in the world, where you'll get to see 150 miles of stunning coastal scenery. Lots of tourists just take a day trip and rush through the Great Ocean Road. But please don't. There are so many beautiful places to see and fun things to do that the day trips miss out on. So check out this video here where I show you my ultimate 3-day itinerary of everything there is to see and do on the Great Ocean Road. And you can also get my perfect itinerary for spending 3 days in Melbourne. Just download it from the link in the description below. With that said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and comment to get your Lonely Planet 10% discount. And I'll see you on the next video.